Welcome back. And I have many people asking me, how come I don't train or teach headshots? And as a surgeon and defensive shooting instructor, I could give you three main reasons. Reason number one, your chance of hitting a live headshot is next to zero unless you're shooting from the back of the head. And as a self-defense shooting, that could be a big problem. You could be charged with murder. So let's talk about it. As a medical doctor, I can tell you we have reflexes that activates automatically without thinking, such as a pain reflex. Now, if you touch something really hot, you withdraw and then you think, damn, that was hot. You don't think, oh, it's hot, I should move. So in this kind of reflexes, the signal does not go all the way into your brain. It actually comes to your spinal cord and goes right back out. So reflex is really fast. And the other one is your head movement. For example, if you see any kind of attack or any kind of danger, first thing we do is ducking our head. And that's really fast. And this is possible because we have massive, very complicated neck muscle that enables us to move fast in any direction. So how fast is it? So let's consider the boxers. When they jab, they're at this position. And the speed of jabbing is about 0.1 second. So 1/10 of a second. And the success of contact is only about half. So that means your head movement is faster than 1/10 of a second. Now consider pointing a gun and shooting somebody. If you're really fast, it might be about 0.6 to 0.7 seconds. So compared to jab, it's about 5 or 6 times slower. So when you point your gun at somebody's face, and chance of the target still being there is almost next to zero, unless you're blindsided or the person was frozen in shock. Now the biggest problem here is that you're not the only one with a gun. In a self-defense, if you try to shoot somebody's face and they duck and shoot at your thorax, I don't know to tell you, but it will be your last day. And with the smallest movement, you're gonna miss your target just like boxers. And this is why. If you're aiming for here, and if I duck this much, you will miss your target. Reason number two is your target is a lot smaller than you think. Now, when you think about headshot, you're thinking about this. But only thing that counts is your central nervous system, which is your brain and spinal cord. And it's surrounded by very tough and round-shaped bones. So even with the smallest movement, there's a good chance the bullet's gonna deflect and the criminal is able to shoot you back. Number three is building a wrong muscle memory. As you know, when you're defending yourself, muscle memory is really important. But first, let's talk about the natural muscle memory. And this is when we are fighting, we naturally aim for the head. Whether you're boxing or when you're street fighting or anything, you want to hit somebody's head, and many times you miss. And I've seen guys who've never fought before and is swinging for the head and mostly misses and have a very bad day. And this is why we have to consciously build our muscle memory to aim for the cardiovascular triangle. In fact, I teach to lower the extension at the cardiovascular level and fire. And this is why you see me always ducking and shooting at every shooting. And now I do it unconsciously. So if you want to stop the lethal attack as fast as possible, first aim for the cardiovascular triangle. Here, as you know, we have a heart and major arteries, which is aorta. And if you hit any of it, you're very likely to stop the attack very fast. And we have lungs here. And if you hit the lungs, as you know, you're going to have a breathing problem and the bad guy's going to feel it. And again, stop the attack very fast, especially with the hollow point. And if you get lucky and hit spinal cord, the bad guy's going to drop like a fly. And lastly, we have a lot of bones here. We have a sternum, ribs, vertebrae. And when the bullets hit the bone versus soft tissue, the difference in the impact is big. It's very likely to stop them from attacking you. The head movement is really fast, whereas the body movement is not fast enough. So you have a higher chance of hitting the target. Number two, use a hollow point. As a hunter, I could tell you right now, when you have a full metal jacket penetrating through you, and when you have a hollow point that has a much more impact on the contact, the criminal is gonna feel the impact, and it will stop the attack a lot faster, and it'll be very difficult for him to attack you effectively as well. And practicing a smaller target, that's definitely understandable, but I recommend if you're gonna shoot a smaller target, in the middle of torso, and aim for that. And make sure your muscle memory is always tuned into cardiovascular triangle. See ya.